Anyway, Graham Linehan, unable to demonstrate the apparent danger posed by trans lesbians, decided that the best way to move forward with his time would be to show how he, a cis man, is a danger to lesbians by invading their dating apps. To do this, Graham created a profile where he presented himself as a 29-year-old lesbian on Her, which is a queer dating app for women, as was brought to our attention by Tabitha McIntosh, yes, she, her pronouns. And this was brought to people's attention. Later, Graham would update his profile, photoshopping his image to have purple hair, cat ears, and a bunch of pins, including Lavender Menace, I heart lesbian tongues, my pronouns, and me. I should note the pronouns and the me badge share the same design, so the implication being quite obvious. The Lavender Menace is just, I believe that is the calling card for, what was it? The ostracization of gay people in America, if I remember correctly. So I should have checked up on this before. Right, okay. So Lavender Menace was tone policing. It was based on the notion held by heterosexual feminists that the acceptance of lesbian feminists would hamstring the movement of feminism. So there's that, and of course the I heart lesbian tongues is quite clearly Graham's just trying to make this out that, you know, trans lesbians are just all about sex. It's all about sex. You know, that's what they tried to get across with the TERF invented expression, the cotton ceiling, if I remember correctly. Like, they have to invent this lie because, again, they can't actually find examples of where this is the case. On top of this, the description was edited, stating, again, Graham, 29, she, her, lesbian, queer, questioning, loves cuddles, furry/adult baby, grew up with porn, there's that sex again, Reddit moderator, looking for girly sleepover/pillow fights, has own van, I'll explain the van context in a bit, subscribe to my OnlyFans, no kink shamers, okay, maybe kink shamers, end quote. Looking for girly sleepover/pillow fights he's quite clearly trying to imply that the notion of lesbians that trans women have is based on, like, stereotypes gained from those college films. Like, you see, I've mostly seen on, like, television stuff, like this whole idea that, oh, lesbians gather and they have slow motion pillow fights, etc. He's quite clearly trying to imply that this is the perception trans lesbians have of lesbianism. As for the I have my own van, I believe this is a reference to the white van man. You don't know what? No, if you don't.
This is clearly a reference to the white van. What else would it be?
If you don't know what the white van is, white vans in the UK are very popular. Just like the basic white van layout, because they're used in industrial sites everywhere. They have a reputation for being the rape van.
That's not just the UK. That's Australia.
Okay, that's Australia
the US as well.
Okay. Like,
and the US.
I remember at school where, like, some industrial worker parked up near our school just to go get lunch. Anytime that would happen, there'd be an alert, like a white van. And, like, most of the time that they've had to follow up with a letter, like, saying, we investigated this, there was no danger, the person was just doing something silly. So that's how much of a reputation it has in the UK, at least. Like, if a white van was parked up near a school, they would have to send out letters warning people. So, you know, I'm pretty sure that's the context he's trying to get here. He's trying to imply that trans people are rapists. Now, this actually led, like, the second update actually led to some people to argue that he hadn't done this, he hadn't written this. It was an edit by someone else. only for Tabitha to come along and confirm that it was legitimate, that he had updated his profile to do this. Oh, one thing I did forget to talk about in that profile was the purple hair. One hue away from the fucking blue hair. Like, those who don't know the whole idea of the blue-haired SJW used by MRAs, fascist, that ilk, he's making the same fucking argument. He's basing his arguments on the same offensive stereotypes. As for the furry thing, I believe since it was right next to adult baby, the adult baby was clearly a reference to the idea of trans age, and I think the furry was a otherkin crack, if I'm right. Which again is conflating being transgender with these other things, and it was a nest of really fucking offensive stereotypes, and like, honestly, it was just disgusting. Now, the dating app in question, responded to people drawing attention to the issue with the following statement. Quote, "Let's make this clear. Her is an app for all women and queer folks. It is not our, nor anyone else's place to question or invalidate another's identity. We are here for all women, including the trans community. Please be assured this user will be found and removed from our platform. Additionally, we're in contact with Substack to have this dangerous act of transphobia removed from our screens." End quote. So, the app is taking action, they've clearly spoken out about this bullshit, and it is moving forward in the right direction. That is the correct way to respond to this. State your support for the trans community, note the fact that this clear bigot trying to incite something and is a danger to the service users will be tackled, that they're taking care of it. To link back to the dangerous acts of transphobia though, since I know some people have been posting about how this doesn't really make sense, in her original tweet, Tabitha pointed out really, how it wouldn't be beyond Graham's usual modus operandi to screenshot any women using the app that failed to live up to his patriarchal standards of femininity and publish them elsewhere, putting said women at risk of violence. Like the anti-trans crowd has historically gone after cis women, mistaking them for trans women, and has shown just how absurd their standards really are when it comes to femininity. Which is kind of ironic because as we were getting ready for this stream, a transphobe retweeted the stream link with like a laughing cry face, like tears of joy sort of thing, or rolling with laughter, stating that, quote, "No gender-critical person ever criticizes a woman for not being feminine enough. We do criticize men for pretending to be women, regardless of whether they look like Marilyn Monroe or Joe Biden," end quote. And it's like, I'm sorry, what? The transphobic community has a long history of targeting cis women thinking that they're trans. That is just ridiculous. And again, there is a safety concern here with Graham and the way he acts, that yeah, he could take screenshots of certain users that he believes to be transgender, and like that would be bad enough, but it's not necessarily just transgender people he's going to be targeting, because there is no way to tell. The whole basis is one that's grounded in the idea that there's this mystical way to tell who is a man and a woman, and talk to any butch lesbian and they'll tell you about all the times that they were approached or, even assaulted by someone who thought they were one of them transgenders. So, all he's done here is prove just how much danger Graham Linehan is to all women. So that's that. Graham responded to her public statement by asserting that queer apparently now means straight, based on the opinion of his straight ass. Also, he argued that self-ID puts women and girls in danger. he claims that he was doing this to show that there was no difference between him and other men on said app. Though he's happy to be educated as to how that's not true. Of course, that's all bullshit. But one thing I did notice is he's talking about the danger self-ID poses women and girls on a hookup app. I don't know what sort of hookup apps Galina is using. I don't know if he's using the one designed by Jeffrey Epstein, perhaps. But girls typically aren't on hookup apps. They're for an adult. They're for adults. So it's just, again, the level of absurdity going on here is just ridiculous. Not only is he a danger, but he presents himself as if he's some great, glorious person fighting for women and girls, and he's failing to consider the basic things at every flipping point, and it really is disgusting. It's the same sort of mentality as we saw the previous story with the whole sports. They can't find evidence of an issue, so they're going to go out and they're going to make an issue. I don't know if you have anything you want to add to that story.
I think you covered all the points. Really, I'm just mostly thinking about how, like, if the lesbians must have a king, I think I would be a much better king than Graham. Can I be king of the lesbians? I will immediately abdicate my throne to someone more deserving, but I just want to one-up Graham by being king of the lesbians.
Yeah, it's absolutely horrific. I mean, not even his own wife could stand him in the end, so